Phil Curry.
Thanks, Mr Taylor. Just ask about taxation. You've already said before this speech today you'd look at what you could afford to do on income tax closer to the election within the spirit of Stage 3. You've said today you've noted our highest company tax rates, and you've said the extension of the instant asset write-off is a down payment. Yep. Could I take that to mean that your medium-term plans will include another examination of the company tax rate or other business taxes? And just in continuation with your low tax philosophy, how do you reconcile that with your pledge to get the budget back into structural surplus, especially if you're going to put that 23.9% speed limit back on?
So the number of questions in there, Phil, all good questions. Of course, one of them is asking me, as you always do, to announce policy, additional policy to what we've already announced today, which I won't do. But I will say, you talked about my comment about company taxes. I mean, this is why accelerated depreciation is so powerful. You know, it is an unbelievably effective way to drive productivity, growth, job creation, risk-taking that you desperately need in the economy, and the small business sector is crucial to doing that. And so Labor has refused to reinstate accelerated depreciation back to where it was prior to COVID. They're looking for all sorts of excuses on that, but they haven't done it. We think that does need to be reinstated, but more than that, we think it needs to be a permanent part of our tax regime, which will help small businesses to make those investments and have incentives to do it. The other point I would make about your overall comments is, you know, the best way to beat bracket creep is to have lower inflation. Now, the reason personal income taxes have gone up by 23%. I mean, it's a stunning number. A very small part of that is population growth, by the way, in total. It's 23%. The vast majority of that is inflation-driven. If you want to get personal income taxes down and stop them creeping away like a thief in the night, you've got to get inflation down. Governments do well out of high inflation. This government has done well out of high inflation, but households don't. Effectively, what our tax system does is take from households and gives to the government. And our philosophy is very different. To your point about how do you make sure that you can deliver lower taxes and structural balance over time, you make sure the economy grows faster than you're spending. It is a very simple formula. It has worked for a long time, and it's a formula that this government has ditched. And we see in the next 2 years going to a big structural deficit and a 16% increase in spending in just 2 years.
And could I just clarify, chasing up Phil's question, are you perpetually wedded to 23.9% GDP for?
Yeah, that's the tax GDP. That's the tax GDP.
Which is
so it's about
made-up number, just a made-up number.
Well, some might say that, but it's been around for a while, Laura, and
yes.
you've got to pick a number that you think. Well, the science here is that if you grow the economy faster than you're spending, your budget position is constantly improving, and that can do two things. One, it can strengthen your budget position, and secondly, it can help to support maintaining tax to GDP at a level which is sustainable over the medium to longer term, and we want to do both.